67% of institutional investors expect Bitcoin to reach $130,000 in the next 3 to 6 months per Coinbase. Welcome back to the Crypto ZX channel, to the XRP family. Appreciate all the love. Apologies for not making an update last night. Decided to take a little bit of a break. Looking across the board, you can see for yourself, we're seeing once again a lot of red across the board. And that is due to, what Bitcoin has been able to do over the last 3 hours. And that is making its way back below the 23.6, which we'll, of course, touch on a little later in this update. As far as the price of XRP is concerned, $2.41, down 2.4% on the USD side of things. We're up 0.4% on the Bitcoin side of things, with the valuation at 144.4 billion and the 24-hour trading volume at $4.2 billion. As always, just a quick disclaimer, anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. So I wanted to kind of discuss a little bit more on this here. In our last update, we talked about how Arthur Hayes is expecting, the market to actually go into the super cycle mania till Donald Trump is his administration is done, which is in around 2028. So again, obviously a lot of people had different things to say. Let me know in the comments what your personal thoughts are, but this is very interesting right here, this forecast, 3 to 6 months. So does this mean that this is where the bull market is going to end? Again, in terms of a timeline aspect, this is kind of closer to our timeline on the channel, especially the 3 month side of things. Again, no one's really going to know exactly where it's going to stop, but you can make an educated guess, and these guys are saying the next 3 to 6 months. So we're close to it. We're expecting on this channel January or February of next year to be the top for myself. That's what I'm projecting, unless of course we hear some mega bullish news that's just gonna be a clear indication that this cycle could be different. And speaking about this cycle to be different, we cannot say that till next year. We just can't. That's, I think, very, very clear. But take a look at this. Binance net flows turn sharply negative as selling pressure fades and investors opt to hold per crypto quant. Very interesting. You want to be paying attention to these net inflow numbers, and that is reflecting something that not a lot of people are realizing. So yeah, let's take a look at what's happening with the XRP side of things. So XRP quickly jumps back to $2.50 after crowd sentiment hit its lowest point in 9 months. We discussed that in our last update as well. Retail sentiment was at the lowest level for XRP from the beginning of this year. Let that sink in, and yet the price is still sitting in the 38.2 Fibonacci retracement level. But you can see for yourself, XRP crosses $2.50, retail capitulated below $1.90, signaling a peak FUD and classic contrarian by opportunity playing out. So, was this the lowest level for, the FUD, and was this where, a lot of retail capitulated? If so, I think this could be a very interesting turnaround as the market picks up. But speaking about market picking up, you obviously want to be paying very close attention to Bitcoin, which again is something we always talk about. Visa is now highlighting Ripple's RLUSD alongside USDC and USDT in its new report on stablecoins powering on-chain lending. It's a sign that RLUSD, built for institutions, multi-chain, and regulation ready, is stepping beyond payments into real credit market infrastructure. Very interesting. And take a look at this. This is obviously for G Treasury. They kind of posted this, and we're thrilled to announce that Ripple has agreed to acquire G Treasury. So look what Vincent says. What a huge news item and unexpected. We all thinking Ripple was going after Shift. Did I say Shift, guys? It's too late here. I apologize. After Swift directly. However, this is how they are going to do it. Through acquisition, then simply replacing the back end. Amazing. Go Ripple and XRP. And Ripple is making some big headlines right now, and yet I think people are not paying attention. And the people that are paying attention are the true holders, in my opinion. In the long term, these are the people during uncertainty that are still here, are the ones that do end up doing good in the long haul. But take a look at this. Ripple Partners Standard charted the November 2025 deadline for ISO 222 adoption marks a pivotal moment for the global financial industry. By then, every organization involved in cross-border payments must have transitioned to the ISO 222 messaging standard and changed that promises to reshape how financial data is exchanged worldwide. Monument behind ISO 222 adoption is accelerating worldwide, and of course it has been documented. And remember, that's where RippleNet comes into play. But take a look at this. Open interest XRP just bottomed out. We're ready to rock. So again, going back to this right here, right here. Very interesting. And take a look at what Stewart says. XRP has clear regulatory standing in the US, and it's no surprise that companies like Evernorth XRP are looking to focus on XRP. Congrats, Ash Go Blue, and the amazing team he has assembled. So what this pretty much means is this right here. Ripple-backed Evernorth plans a U.S. listing aiming to raise over $1 billion to build the largest public XRP treasury. Are you paying attention, guys? Are you paying attention to this? More and more companies out here that are trying to do this, and this is pretty much following Bitmine. If you know what Bitmine is doing, Tom Lee's company, they're acquiring big Ethereum like at a record pace. I think as time goes by and as we do go into the future, people are going to be looking back at these things. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, but let's take a look at what's happening with the price. As far as the dominance is concerned, we're sitting at 59.61%. You can see for yourself, we did see quite a sharp decline over the last 24 hours, but it is picking up right now. That is due to our good old friend BTC dropping below the 23.6 Fibonacci level. You can see for yourself. Let's take a look at Bitcoin on the hourly time frame. So, we were able to see Bitcoin making its way back into 23.6, but if you did watch my Cardano update, I did say, even though we're there, this is bare minimum. You need to see the price holding, but look at it, we fell back below. And I cannot imagine the longs liquidation numbers around here, which we'll obviously share with you guys tomorrow. But again, Bitcoin's making its way back down. The next, few days until the month is over, very, very interesting. Obviously, to be looking out for, is this going to be the reversal for the market? Are we going to see the market picking up and leading into the FOMC meeting? We'll see what happens, but Bitcoin needs to be in the 23.6. So right now, a lot of volatility, nothing has really changed on that side of things, but XRP is something we want to be paying attention to as always. The price did come up to $2.55, guys. Very, very impressive move here. Retesting something we haven't seen. Obviously, the price action we actually have not seen since October 14th. So very impressive move. We're still in the 38.2, but again, we did see a retracement, with Bitcoin, and very, very close to Bitcoin. Bitcoin's down about 4% and XRP down about 5.4%, while a lot of altcoins have gone down much more than 4%, which tells you XRP is holding really nicely. So again, we want to be focusing on these levels. We're going to take it one step at a time, of course. Target, obviously, we want to push up to the $2.71, but again, step by step process here. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Love you all. See you later in Crypto ZX, and peace out.